Right now, inside you, there's an army of trillions, literally trillions, of microscopic workers. They're carrying out quadrillions of tasks every single second. These are the unsung, silent heroes that make your life possible. And today, we're going to explain what they are. Enzymes.
So here's this massive puzzle at the heart of biology. Our bodies are basically these incredibly complex chemical factories, right? But they run at a pretty cool 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit and at normal pressure. Now, under those conditions, the reactions you need to, say, digest your lunch, or build new cells, or even just think a thought, they take years, maybe even centuries. So how are we even here? How is any of this possible?
And I'm not talking about a small inconvenience. This is like a full-stop, show-stopping problem. Without some kind of solution, the chemistry that makes us would just grind to a halt.
Think about it like this. Life is just this huge, tangled mesh of chemical reactions. Everything is either being broken down or built up. But inside our cells, where it's not super hot or under a ton of pressure, all these crucial processes are just, well, they're incredibly sluggish. They just don't have the raw energy to get going at any kind of meaningful speed.
But of course, life found a way. It always does, right? And the solution is it's breathtakingly elegant and unbelievably powerful. It comes in the form of nature's very own tiny catalysts.
And that answer is the enzyme. An enzyme is like a biological accelerator pedal. It's this specialized molecule that grabs the raw materials for a reaction and then just massively speeds up their transformation. We're talking millions of times faster. They are the ultimate efficiency experts of the universe.
Now, we've known about them for a while. The name itself was coined way back in 1878. But for 100 years, the assumption was, okay, all enzymes are proteins. End of story. Then, in the 1980s, a totally game-changing discovery happened. Researchers found that some enzymes are actually made of RNA. They're called ribozymes, and finding them just blew the doors off what we thought we knew about early life. It showed us that nature had more than one trick up its sleeve.
Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. How does this tiny machine actually work? What is it about an enzyme that gives it this incredible world-building power?
The secret is, it's actually pretty simple. It's all about the shape. Seriously, that's the whole magic trick. Most enzymes are what we call globular proteins, which just means they're folded up into these really specific, complex, three-dimensional structures. And that unique shape is absolutely everything.
Now, tucked away inside that complex shape is one super important spot called the active site. This is the business end of the enzyme. It's a perfectly formed little pocket or groove, and its shape and its chemical charge are an exact match for its target molecule, which we call the substrate. It's the ultimate example of a perfect fit, like a key for a very, very specific lock.
And even the active site itself is really a two-part system. First, you've got the binding site, which you can think of as the grip. Its job is just to grab onto the substrate and hold it in place. And then, right next door, you have the catalytic site. This is the action part. This is where other amino acids do the actual chemical work that transforms the substrate into something new.
But not all enzymes are lone wolves. A lot of them are perfectly fine on their own, just as proteins. But some of the most critical ones, well, they need a non-protein partner to get the job done.
And this brings us to a really important split. On one hand, you have simple enzymes. They're made of 100% protein, and that's it. But then you have conjugated enzymes. These are the ones that need that extra little non-protein helper molecule, which is called a cofactor. Without their cofactor, they're basically switched off. Useless.
Okay, so there's some specific lingo here, but it's pretty straightforward when you break it down. The protein part, the inactive part, is called the apoenzyme. Think of it like an empty tool. The helper molecule is the cofactor. And when that cofactor clicks into place on the apoenzyme, they form the holoenzyme. And that's the complete, active tool that's ready to get to work.
So what are these little helpers? Well, sometimes they're just simple metal ions. But very often, they're complex, organic molecules we call coenzymes. And here's the kicker. Many of these coenzymes are made from the vitamins in our food. This is exactly why getting your vitamins is so important. They are literally the keys that switch on some of our most vital enzymes.
All right, so whether they work alone or with a partner, all enzymes play by a very specific set of rules. They are precise, they are efficient, and they are highly regulated little machines. So let's run through their operating manual real quick. First, they are incredibly specific. One key, one lock. That's it. Second, they're true catalysts, meaning they do their job and then pop right off, unchanged and ready for the next one.
They're also super powerful, so you only need a tiny amount. But, and this is a big but, they're also kind of picky. Their activity depends on having the perfect temperature and pH. And finally, their activity can be regulated, turned up by activators or dialed down by inhibitors, which makes them perfectly tuned for whatever the cell needs.
So, we've seen that enzymes are the essential machinery of life itself, doing millions of specific jobs with incredible speed and mind-boggling precision. And that leaves us with one last kinda heavy thought to consider. If our entire existence relies on this